was there.
Yeah, but things work out. I mean, you got a career now, you got married to Wes, and
Yeah.
your first son, Alexander Griswold.
Mm-hmm.
So what's parenthood been like for the two of you? You know, it's just the
Oh my
first
goodness.
month or so.
Yeah. I'm surprised I'm actually awake right now.
Yeah, and that's baby Max. Yeah.
That is baby Max.
Yeah.
I finally understand what they say when they said babies are cutest when they're sleeping. They're so peaceful and cute. But then when he's awake, been running on almost 2 hours of sleep every night, which if I'm lucky. But parenthood, it's crazy. People say you don't understand it until you're in it, but it's all worth it. A little bundle of joy is definitely worth it. So we're adjusting slowly. Wes is finally back to work this week, so I'm still on maternity leave. So full time. He's definitely a full time. So, but yeah, enjoying it and trying to adjust. It's tough. It's tough because they can't tell you what's wrong. All they do is cry. So now I'm Googling all the different sounds of crying. Like if this cry means one, that cry means one. So it's been fun.
But it's amazing how you naturally start to be in tune to what they want, right? It takes time.
Exactly.
You'll get there. Yeah. You'll get there.
Yes. Yeah. You start because you spend so much. It's 24/7. You spend so much time with them. You actually start noticing the little quirks where, oh, he's going. It's his poop phase or it's his hungry phase. So it's great. You start knowing. So it's great.
I mean, would you have ever imagined you'd be so excited to smell someone's diaper? Right? You want to snack.
Oh, hey, God, that's true.
It's part of
surprising.
It is part of
surprising poop doesn't smell.
See? Not yet. Not yet.
The fart smells, but the poop doesn't smell. Yes, not yet until he starts solid food.
Yeah,
until he starts solid food.
Can we change the subject? It's the dark side of parenthood. Anyway, baby Max has got good golfing genes. Mom's a pro golfer. That Wes was a collegiate golfer, right?
Yep. So he played. Dad actually is a more avid golfer than I am. He loves breeze golf. He loves his idols, Tiger Woods. He knows every golf course that PJ's played or LPJ's played. He actually follows it more closely than I do. So he absolutely loves it. So we're gonna. Before once he starts crawling, once he starts holding, we'll give him a golf club. He'll be out on a golf course pretty soon.
Okay,
very soon.
Good to hear. And there's a little bit of the story here. I think I read it somewhere in a newspaper in the US about how you and Wes met, and in the first few years he caddied for you on tour. So just give us a gist of the whole romance and being on tour together.
That's funny that this is all based around the US Open. So that's actually where it all started.
Yeah.
I had him. He was out working in Montana, and we knew each other through a friend, a mutual friend. And I actually asked him, "Well, would you like to caddy for me at the U.S. Open?" And he said, "Well, that's a stupid question." I said, "Of course I would." Yeah. So that's kind of where it started. He was great. I was kind of skeptical. It was have someone that I kind of on the bag in that kind of intense atmosphere, but he knew so much more about golf than I did, even though I played it, but I was more kind of a rookie, but he knew so much more by watching. And he started golf a lot earlier than I did. I started when I was 14, but he started when he was probably 5 or 6. And
wow.
So it all started there. That was 9 years ago in July. So he continued and caddied for me on tour for about 3 years, and then he went and did his MBA. So we did really well. We traveled everywhere. It was fun. We got to go to India. We got to go to Australia, New Zealand. So it's surprisingly we didn't kill each other, and we're married 9 years later.
And
it's tough.
Back in Malaysia as well, right? He was on the back for you at the
time. Yes. So he came back and came for me. He had 3 times at the time Derby. That was good. That was fun. Okay. Got to meet my parents.
Yeah. And when was the last time you were back in Malaysia?
I was back this January. I had to travel to China for work, and I came back, saw my family, saw my parents and my brother for a week, ate some Malaysian food, ate my mom's cooking, and then off to go to China and then back to the States, unfortunately.
Okay, just you. Wes wasn't here.
No, he was no. It was a business trip where he was just
Yeah, so hopefully you, Wes, and baby Max can come back to Malaysia soon, and we can all meet up for your mom's cooking.
Yes,
Yeah, that's an
hopefully
idea.
so.
That's
Yeah.
smiling. Siew is smiling. Yeah.
Yes, we were supposed to come back to do the Chinese ceremony here, but we
Okay.
didn't get a chance. So now we'll obviously come back and have the whole relatives,
Yeah.
all the
Fingers
relatives
crossed.
meet Max. Yeah.
Cool. And us. And us.
Yeah, don't
And you
forget
guys.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
forget
of course. You
Jin.
guys are definitely invited. We'll have a big dinner. The typical Chinese, of like 300, 400 people.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go back to CUI now to talk about this week's US Women's Open a bit more. No spectators this week at Champions Golf Club. So totally different. How will that affect the event from a player's perspective?
I mean, I think it's tough for players because I think a lot of times when you're in contention, you work off the crowd as well. It pumps you up, it gets you going. Just not having, the stands as well. It just I don't know. It might be a very different atmosphere. It's like playing in a golf course with, it's like it's another round. But I think the excitement and the buzz of having people cheer you on will give you that adrenaline rush as well. But having said that, I think a lot of the LPGA players and all have already been playing in tournaments with no spectators. So I don't know, might be kind of normal for them already at this point.
But you think without the players, without spectators there, the rough will even flop up even more because you won't have people stomping on it and flatten it out.
You'd be amazed. I mean, I remember when I played Prairie Dunes, the heather grass was like almost as tall as me.
Wow.
And it's like when you hit it in there, you just tell the volunteers, don't look for it because it's worse having to play out of there. Yeah. I mean, you could take 3 shots just to get out of this stuff, So the rough, I, for some reason, I don't care how much you trample on the grass, it just doesn't go down. Okay. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be just as not a lot different, but you don't. I mean, I guess you just miss that. You'll miss having the spectators there because they really add to just the feel of it.
Yeah. Now, who's your pick this week, CY? Who do you think?
Well, obviously we want Kelly to win. But, I think she's going to be up against some really, really good competition, being retired already and having one of my contemporaries playing well last week. I think Angela Stanford is playing really well. I think she's had like a couple of top 10 finishes as well. And she won last week. So, she's hot right now. So I think she'd be someone to definitely watch.
She's from Texas as well.
She is from Texas. Yeah. I played quite a number of times with her. I mean, we're friends, so gotta pull for my bud there.
Jean, who do you think is gonna win this week?
Like COI said, hopefully Kelly. US Open is tend to bring out, a lot of first time winners too. So hopefully, Kelly will have the best and everything goes smoothly for her. But like she said, also she's up against a lot of good players that are playing really well. I think Seong Kim or Daniel Kang is also two of the players. Daniel's playing really well. I know her pretty well too, so it's kind of nice to watch her win so many this year. And I think they have some solid players out there. It's gonna be good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Especially watching Kelly play. So I mean, anything you want to tell Kelly? Any words of advice, CY?
Yeah. For first, Kelly, thanks for the wishes. Me, Max, and Wes are all well. We're slowly settling into parenthood. It'd be nice to come back out there on tour one day. But we want to wish you all the best for the US Open. Hopefully all your putts starts rolling in and just see it go in, and good luck. Keep a level head, like CY always said.
CY, any words of wisdom for Kelly?
Yeah, just Kelly, have a great time this week. Keep it in the short stuff.
Easier said than done.
That's the biggest thing at the US Opens. Keep it in the short stuff and be patient. The birdies are out there. Just keep putting yourself in position and roll those putts.
Okay, we're going to still stick on Kelly for a bit. Kelly had a rough couple of years last year and the year before, lost her status on the LPGA. So, but back with a bang, doing well this year. Good to see that. Siew, in the early your career, you had to go back to Q school a couple of times. So, must be tough doing that. How do you manage, those ups and downs?
Slumps are something that happen for everyone. I think it's in varying degrees for different people. But I think that if you keep persevering, again, if you believe what you're doing and you love what you do, you're willing to put through. It's going to be hard times as well. And I think that for me, my worst year on tour was 2003. That was my absolute worst year on tour. But I didn't throw in the towel. I kept at it, worked at it, had a very different outlook and perspective. And my best year on tour was 2004. Can I put a thing on what I did differently from one year to the next? No, I think I did everything the exact same way, and it worked out one year and it didn't the other. I think for someone like Kelly, I did have a chance to chat with her. And I said to her, look, you're too good a golfer to stay in this too long. Keep working at it. You'll swing right back out again. But the danger is people hit that slump and they think, oh, I'm done. That's it. And it's not. There's more to it. If you can ride out this rough weather, you might come out into a rainbow that's waiting for you. So, yeah.
Somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah. Kelly talked a lot about confidence, so I guess that's really very important to have the confidence in yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you can't lose belief in yourself because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. But it's hard when everything is telling you and papers are saying that, close friends are saying that, people who you thought were your biggest supporters are now no longer. Yeah. It's hard to stay on track. But having been there myself, I just know that it's not easy when everybody's telling you there's no way you can do it. Perseverance and believing in yourself is huge.
Okay, great words of advice. So I think we got something for Jean. Yeah, Jean, you haven't forgotten Jean.
Yeah.
God, I was hoping.
You pointed out something very interesting that caught my attention just now. You said the worst year was 2003, your best year was 2004. If you could put your finger on something that you did different, you don't, because you did exactly the same thing. Right? So I thought that was very interesting, because a lot of people, when they hit the slump, the first thing they're going to say is it's time to reinvent what I'm doing. I got to be, there must be something on my game, my gloves, my ball. But I found it very interesting that you said, I just did everything the same and it just worked out. It didn't work out the year before, but I did it. So I think that was actually very interesting to hear you say that, especially since that now you're a coach, right? And I would, a normal layman would say the first thing you see when you have a problem is, oh, I'm going to fix something, I'm going to change something.
Change coach.
Right? I wouldn't say change coach, but that's what a coach would normally do, right? What is your problem? Yeah. But you actually pointed out there was nothing significantly different that you did. Correct?
There's a fantastic story I read once.
Okay.
And it was about a Chinese bamboo plant. And I tell this to a lot of my junior golfers that struggle.
Okay.
And what I say is this: if you have a Chinese bamboo plant and you plant it and you water it for 1 year, it grows a total of 0 inches in that 1 year.
Really?
Okay. You water that same plant for another year.
Okay.
It grows a grand total of 0 inches for the second year.
Okay.
You do the same thing for the third year, And it grows a grand total of 0 inches. But in the 4th year, in the first 6 months, it goes from 0 to 60 feet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, did it happen in just that 4th year? Or did it happen over the preparation that was done for the first 3.5 years? And I found out something else. The Chinese bamboo plant, the reason it can grow up so high is because it develops a really strong root system in the first 3 years.
Interesting. Because the plants that we have, they grow immediately. But
not his hair though.
Especially we wanted
it doesn't root. But yeah.
But see, I think you're right. You're very right. Lay a strong foundation and then you will flourish.
Correct.
Sorry. I'm not supposed to be the serious one here, but I have to highlight that. I think it was a very interesting thing that you said, especially for the viewers out there, the youngsters who are, struggling in golf now, or anything in life. Anything in life you're struggling with, just remember the words of wisdom. And buy Siew bamboo plant because our plants will never take away.
But it's only the Chinese bamboo plant. It's not the Malaysian bamboo plant, isn't it?
Or the American.
No, the American.
Welcome back on Show Siew. We've been waiting for you for the last 15 minutes. Okay. I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, it's what a great golf course. I just played 9 today, and the course is in great shape. The weather looks great. I'm just excited to get the week started. Yeah, I mean, me and Joshua, we grew up playing junior golf in Malaysia. We haven't really been in touch for a while, but he reached out to me a couple months back, just knowing that I was in the field, and he offered to take me out to play some practice rounds. And yeah, I hit him up, and I got 2 looks on each courses, so I think that was very effective. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, so he told me where he thinks the pin will be, and where the misses, and just some little local knowledge, and I think it definitely helps. Yeah, I just played the Frontline of Cyprus today. I think it requires a lot of placement off the tee. You definitely have to hit your driver well. And you probably have to pick which side of the fairway you want to be in just to get yourself a good angle, because the greens are just so huge. Yeah, and with the green being huge, you have to almost divide them into quarters to try to, hit it to the sections of where you think the pin, if the pin's on the back left corner, it's probably better to hit it to the back left corner, just so you don't have like a 70 feet putt coming back to the hole. I think definitely the greens. I think Jackrabbit, let me try and think. I think the greens are definitely smaller, but it's trickier. It's got more undulation. But it's on Jackrabbit course. It's also a section, but the greens are kind of, if you hit the green on the right section, you probably are looking at 15 to 20 feet for birdies, which it's a little different than the Cyprus, where it's not as undulating, but it's just a big wide green to hit to. I think a lot of lag putting, a lot of try to be chip well around the green, and just be cautious of where you are, not necessarily try to miss it, but if you're gonna miss it, you definitely have to miss on the right side. Yeah, I think lag putting is definitely number 1. Try and get those 50, 60 footer speed dialed in, hitting your driver well, and yeah. I just think overall you have to have every shot in your bag when you come to US Open. I haven't really looked for the whole entire week. The last time I looked was last week. I think Saturday is supposed to be not as nice, but I mean today was beautiful. I think it's supposed to be really nice all week. hopefully it stays with us. I just always feel like the US Open always have a tough feel. It's always one of those events, it's really hard to get into. You always have to, you know, whether it is qualifying at a site, they only pick like 2 spots, or qualifying trying to play in a tournament, it's only like 2 or 3 spots, and you know, they just have the best player in the world on the Rolex ranking and good amateurs that play in it, great golf courses, and it's always set up hard and fast and just super challenging. So I just love coming to the US Open. I definitely think it's confidence. I give a lot of credit to my team, my coach, my trainer, my caddy, my family. I mean, we've been through a couple tough years, all of us together. It's just great to see that I'm, you know, on my feet again. It's a great feeling. But I say confidence is my #1 friend. When I first started working with my coach, Gary, you know, I was probably at my lowest spot in my career, and you know, he pretty much just told me that, you know, I'm swinging it great, you know, I'm a good player, which, you know, got me to where I am, but it was hard for me to buy into that because I was in a very tough spot in my career. And, you know, we just kept working on the little things day by day and just trying to gain confidence, and, you know, just through that, I think he really helped me to get to where I am today, and I'm just really grateful. Yeah, I'm very happy for you, Jean. Just so happy to see that you and Wes got your baby. It was all a surprise to all of us, and I can't be any more happier for you. And yeah, it's just a great thing.